Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, December 6th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol SOUN. Been tracking this one very closely. Did it yesterday, talked about this little pattern here that had formed. And then you can see today got the breakout from there. And just a huge, huge move. So for anybody that watched yesterday's video, congrats on that. Very well played. And now it's just a question of, just drawing in the newest pattern that has formed, which is a very nice pattern. And as I draw it, please understand that this is not some sort of great discovery. I don't have some sort of great special talent, nothing like that. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. And the pattern here that you got to think a lot of people are watching is drawing that trend line like there, and drawing another one very similar to that right there. Let me change that to green to represent support, and then just change this to one color here to hopefully make it easiest to see. So we have our area of resistance, we have our area of support, we have the huge explosion right there, and then for you golfers, make it more visual for you, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price comes up here and pushes through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So if you like this price range, you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one here, MSTZ. Crazy, crazy day when you stop to think that at one point, well, it really started yesterday. Nasty move down, and then this big gap down today. Price hit a low right there, and then it's now managed to fight all the way back up there, which leads to the more than valid question, is there any sort of genuine power behind this move? Because this has been a great move, no doubt about it, but is there genuine power behind it? I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And in my mind, it all revolves around a single area, and that area is right down here at the 88-cent mark. Why is 88 cents so important? And I'm not saying this will occur, but for example's sake, let's say the price comes down here and then breaks down below it. What would you have at that point? You would quite literally have the price having gone right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves and then go right back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine power. With that being said, to be fair, nothing can go straight up. So maybe this comes down here, behaves like this, and then curls back upwards. Now all of a sudden, what do you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right there. You'd have this low right here. And if you envision those as stair steps, now you have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. And that's what it's all about. A genuine strong move is not going to go straight up, but it is going to show signs of progress. And in this situation, the quote-unquote sign of progress is being able to stay above 88 cents. So let's see if it can get that job done or not over the next couple of days. Next one here, PLUG. Very, very impressive movement on this one. So let's just map out the key area of resistance where you can see every time the price got right up around 255. And I say right up around because right there you can see price didn't quite hit it. And then right there, price actually went slightly above it. So just trying to find a middle point there, and we'll go with $2.55. So whenever the price got around it, the price has not been able to build any sort of momentum. So that is the top part of our pattern here. And although while all this is going on with the, kind of just the flattening out here, at that same time, there is a nice upward slope to things. So we have this nice trend line right there. And then again, to make the pattern easier to see, let's just keep it all one color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big upwards move right there. We have the golf hole down here. So yes, we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is just price range. If you like stocks, down around the $1 mark, $5 mark, this one fits right in that category. And like I said, if you like bull pennants, here you go. Next one here, MTEM. Pretty brutal move, but it's all about perspective. If you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, or whatever you call yourself, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 13.7 minutes, well then yes, from that angle, the chart's looking really, really bad because there was this big pullback. But if you do care about the bigger picture point of view, the price is still much higher than where it was previously right here. The price is still up above the moving averages. So again, from that angle, the chart is still, it's got the ability to still build a higher base, which as we already talked about, that's what it's all about. So if this is a new highest base, well then previous to that highest base and envisioning those as stair steps, you still do have progress in the upwards direction, which is why I would definitely consider this a very important level of support moving forward, because it's essentially that level where it's answering the question, is this going to be some sort of higher base right here at the 47-cent mark. So 47 cents, I'm not going to say is do or die, because even if the price were to drop below there, you still do have your moving averages down there. Now, if the price were to drop below both those moving averages, that would be a massive red flag. And then in terms of areas of resistance, as of right now, the price has basically gone sideways, and the top of this little miniature sideways channel seems to be right up here around the 54-cent mark. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, big move up, pulled back, consolidating out, sideways movement. Is this just a little bit of a breath before it curls back upwards? We'll see what happens on Friday. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this will mean more to those of you that watched previous video, but if you did, you hopefully remember me talking about that area as resistance right there. And you can see this morning got the gap up, broke through there, and then that opening 30 minutes, massive move to the upside. And we now have ourselves another pattern that's going to be very familiar. So I'm going to go through this one very quick at this point, just to, I want to respect your time. You've already seen this pattern. You've already heard me talk about it. So, but nonetheless, I still want to get it mapped out here. And I guess I lied. This is a slightly different pattern. So let's just get this mapped out here. So resistance, support, explosive move. This would technically be a bull flag pattern as opposed to a bull pennant pattern. But the psychology is the same. The psychology being big move up. Now it's pulling back, doing a little consolidating, which then leads to the question, is this consolidation healthy? Will it lead to the upwards move? All in all, though, anyway, look at it. Very nice day here for Tesla. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage here. Now, one special note, it is a genuine live event, so a couple situations, maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening, or maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you totally missed it. That is okay. Go ahead, send me the email, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay so that you can watch it at your convenience. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up, and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one here, MARA, and once again, this is a situation where, from I sit as a presentation standpoint, very tricky because it's all about perspective. The day traders that bought right there and wanted to buy and sell within 13.32 seconds. Yeah, not so good for them as there was this big pullback. But even with the bigger pullback, from the overarching standpoint, the price is still above the key moving average. And the key moving average from a big picture standpoint is going to be that pink line right there, which on my chart denotes the 200 period moving average. So going into Friday and then even next week, key area to watch very closely. Right now valued at the $24 mark because that is that bigger picture moving average, the 200 period, so keep an eye on that. If the price were to crash down through there, at that point, things start to get, pretty iffy. Now, in terms of just looking at today, what I find pretty crazy is look how steep that trend line. In fact, there we go. Look how steep this trend line is. And the price has continued to respect it. So that makes me think that, those turnaround players, those breakout traders, probably watching that. And while there are no guarantees, is it valid to think that if the price could at least push up through there, that could get a bit of a surge of momentum back to the upside? Now, does the surge take it all the way up there? I'm not saying that, but let's just say it only does go that high. Well, from a trading standpoint, that distance right there, that's a lot of wiggle room where you could pull out some nice profits. So if that fits your sort of kind of approach to the market where you like to play those quick potential breakouts, then I think that trend line there, carries quite a bit of value and is worth at least keeping an eye on. But the most important thing from the bigger picture standpoint is definitely staying above that 200 period moving average. Next one here, NVDA, and not a whole lot to report as I did this one yesterday, but just it is obviously I don't know if it's obvious, but it is a very popular stock. So just want to keep things updated here. So the level I talked about previously was that green line there of support at 143.75-ish. And you can see earlier today, price got close to it. Didn't hit it exactly, but the power of charts got right around that area and then a nice little bounce. Pulled back again, but on this pullback didn't even really come close to it. So overall, just a pretty big consolidation day for this one. So a relatively boring day, but boring does not mean bad. In this situation, a healthy day because it's going sideways, but it's going sideways at much higher levels than where it was. So, right here, things got a little boring as it just chopped back and forth, but that proved to be very healthy. And now it's going sideways again, which just leads to the question, is this all just kind of a temporary little pause before another surge to the upside happens? And if that does occur, then the main next overarching level of resistance is going to be right up there at 148.65. So yes, today, no doubt about it, relatively boring, but still an overall healthy chart. Next one here, GWAV. Very nice move over the past few, not the past few days, but a couple days ago, really came to life. And then, that topic of boring. Things got pretty boring, especially look at the volume there. Very, very quiet, very, very quiet. And then today, once again, boom, back up it went. So higher highs, higher lows, that is the name of the game. So let's map out a couple of key technical levels here headed into Friday. Main area of resistance, in my opinion, at least going to be right up there around that dollar mark. So keep a close eye on a dollar. And then in terms of levels of support, the ideal level, meaning if you say, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? That would be if the price could stay up here above that trend line right there. With that being said, if the price falls below it, the chart's not epically destroyed or anything like that, because from the bigger picture standpoint, you have that purple line right there, the 50 period moving average. Keyword being moving, because I understand the price is way up here, that line's way down there. But as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher. And as long as the price stays above that line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, well, then by default, that means the price is, putting in those higher lows. And from a trend building standpoint, that's what it's all about. So yeah, preferably stay above that trend line right there. But if it doesn't, then as long as the price does stay above that overarching line, the purple line, then everything is perfectly fine. Next one here, TARA, a pretty brutal move today, depending on your discipline. If you're a day trader and you bought up there, then yeah, you got crushed pretty bad as this thing, well, assuming you didn't use a stop loss. But now just from a straight out pattern standpoint, this is an interesting situation as we have what I like, one of my favorite patterns. So let me just get this drawn into place. So there is our area of support of the pattern. And then we have our area of resistance on the pattern, and this would be a falling wedge. Now, what makes this a little bit more interesting is this is a falling wedge in a bullish context. Now, I understand to call this bullish for the day trader that bought right there is crazy, but I'm talking about overall context, and it is still bullish because not only is it still up in this gap up context right here, it is still above both these key overarching moving averages. So that's where the bullish context is coming from. But at the core, if you like this price range, if you like falling wedge patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one, SVMH, penny stock here that had a bunch of volume on it today and good solid movement. Once more, tricky to talk about. Day traders that bought right there, yeah, not the greatest, assuming you wanted to buy and sell very quickly. But from the bigger picture, I mean, really some good stuff going on. There's a set of lows, there's a set of lows, there's a set of lows. And even if that can hold up, another set of lows. So these lows just keep getting higher and higher. And that's what you want to see. But the easier way to just illustrate and watch that, and so you're not sitting there trying to look at stair steps and wondering all that, is, again, just circling back to, as I talked about previously, that purple line there, 50 period moving average. So instead of drawing stair steps, as that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price stays above that line, then from the big picture point of view, the trend is still in the bull's favor. Now, what about areas of resistance? Well, the main level, or I should say more so initial level, before you talk about kind of the one that I think a lot more people are watching, is going to be right here at 0.03, we'll call it 4 cents there. So 4 cents. Now, I think a lot of people, and rightfully so, are up going to be right around this area because that was essentially the highs. And again, that is a level, but I think more importantly, before you even put too much emphasis on that, is can the price not only get above or get back to that level, so curl back up there, but will it be able to break up through that area? But all in all, from just a trading standpoint, this one's got the ingredients. It's got a ton of volume, it's got good volatility, and at the core, that's what we need as traders. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but again, for you stock traders out there, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. It'll be this evening, Thursday, December 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you cannot make it live for whatever reason, as I mentioned, go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. And then also, if you enjoy these top 10 videos, if you enjoy the channel as a whole, and you're looking for a super easy way to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help out. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. Again, each one of these represents 4 hours, not 30 minutes. And I like to do this because Bitcoin is open 24/7. And in order for this analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible, I like to look at the longer time frames and then walk you through some questions. And based on how you answer those questions, that'll dictate the current status of things. So needless to say, Bitcoin has had a wild ride. When I was doing this about 24 hours ago, it was on that candle right there. So the question at that point was, all right, is this a genuine breakout? And yes, it was, as it then went all the way up there. Now we're in a much more kind of flipped reversal here, is the big old pullback here. So that the question as of right now is, okay, is this pullback more so a reversal or is it just totally healthy? So how do we answer that question? Well, let's say you're watching this video 20 hours from now. Question number one you need to ask yourself is, where's the price at relative to that trend line? If you are in any way saying the price is above that trend line, then as of right now, just still a healthy pullback, because even if it's just somewhere right around here, and going back to the stair steps we've talked about previously on other stocks, you'd have a stair step there, you'd have a stair step there, you'd have stair steps down here. So from that angle, everything would still be perfectly fine. But then common sense will take you far. If you're saying, well, Clay, not only is the price still above the red line, but it's actually back up here. Well, that's just telling you that not only has this pullback stopped, it's actually recovered very, very nicely. Now, on the flip side of saying, well, actually, Clay, I'm watching this, and the price is down below that level. Okay, next immediate question is, well, where's the price at relative to 92,500? I highly doubt you're answering it this way, but if somehow you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below that level, that's I don't want to say the chart's destroyed, but yeah, something has changed that would not be a good sign at all. But if you're saying, well, Clay, the price is still above here, but it's down below here, well, then at that point, this was just a faulty breakout, and the price has gone right back into this bigger consolidation where it already was. So yes, not the most ideal set of circumstances, but by no means any sort of like the end of the world or anything like that. So keep your eye on those levels, ask yourself those questions, and that'll keep this video relevant until I'm back to update it about 24 hours from now. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely go get signed up for the free live class. As mentioned, it'll be this evening, Thursday, December 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And that is because what you're learning about in the class can and definitely should be used within the world of crypto and Bitcoin. But if you cannot make it live for whatever reason, then as I've mentioned, clay@claytrader.com, email me and I will be happy to send you a link to the replay. And like I said, if you enjoy the channel, if you want to support it in a totally easy and free way, please just hit that subscribe button. So thanks for watching and go get signed up for that free training.